learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. Just like you, I see what's happening to our cities in the United States. I think about it quite a bit. I wonder, what's going on with the world. And just like you, I've given it a lot of thought. And I wonder what's causing these issues. But unlike most people, I get on Facebook and I see this fear and anger that I don't know if I've ever seen this before. Of course, I hear that there was bad things going on in the 60s, and I guess maybe this is similar, but I don't know. And I think, man, the world's falling apart. I get on Facebook and I see people, upset. You better wear your mask. And then I see others, what are you going to do? What is the government going to do? This person and this person, it's everybody else's fault. And I don't feel the same way. I would have 10, 15, 20 years ago. I was a conspiracy theorist back then. I've said this in many videos. And I just knew the world was falling apart. Well, I guess I wasn't far from the truth. It is falling apart. I don't know if we're going to recover from this. What are we going to be after all this is done? Nowadays, I don't feel the same way. I'm quite content. When 14% of the United States is happy right now, that means the rest of the United States is not happy. And I fall into this very small percentages. Of course, I used to be an engineer type. I worked in manufacturing where I had to deal with statistics. And percentages to me make a big statement. And when you say 14% are happy, that is huge. There's 350 million people on the planet and only 14% is happy. And so we wonder why we're all at each other's throats. Yet I'm over here and I'm not upset with anybody. I just doing my thing. I analyze what's going on with me. Of course, the obvious is sitting right here, right here. I'm not near anybody. Life is good. And it didn't take a lot to do. It didn't take much money to do. I suppose $4,200 for a piece of property is a big chunk of change, but it doesn't take that long to save that much. You can do it. The thing is I wonder how many people are thinking they're gonna need 5, 10, 15, 20 acres to be happy. Yet here I am on 1.5 acres, and I am completely removed from everything that's going on. Well, I used to work my tail off when I was in manufacturing. I've said this a lot of times in other videos also. Just killed myself. 16, 20 hours a day sometimes. I'd come home and I would have to work weekends. If I didn't work at work, I was on the computer. I was doing scheduling, and it's just endless amount of work. And I wasn't happy then. But I come here and I work just as hard. But not mentally, I'm working physically. And every time I have to move something, I'm like, yep, okay, I'm happy. Pick up a rock, cut down a tree, stack wood, split wood, go to bed. Everything makes me happy. I have not had a stressful dream in a long time. I haven't had cold sweats in the middle of the night. And so a lot of hard work, and the harder I work, the happier I am. And I really want to be able to share this with you. I hear so many people say, boy, I'm envious of you, Rob. I wish I could do what you're doing. And the question pops in my head is, why can't you? I'm not a spring chicken. I understand that some of my audience is older than me. I get it. But when I came out here, I was out of shape. And I think, of course you can. You can take some sort of small steps towards your own happiness. I read a book back in the 90s. In it, it described that you are responsible for your own happiness, not anybody else, you. I know in a marriage, a spouse will say to the other spouse, you don't make me happy anymore. Why don't you make me happy anymore? Those kind of things. Well, it's not the spouse's responsibility to make you happy. You have to be happy for yourself. Now, the spouse may want to try to make you happy, and that's a whole different story. And when I learned that happiness is something that you have to achieve, not somebody else. The pursuit of happiness, I've heard that a lot, the pursuit of happiness. Does that mean somebody else has to pursue it for you? The world's burning down, and what are you going to do to fix it? What are you going to do to fix it? What is government going to do? What is the police going to do? What is whoever going to do? Well, what are you going to do? I didn't call the police. I didn't call the government. I didn't scream on Facebook, the government needs to make me happy. I came out here and made myself happy. As a matter of fact, and I've said this a lot, just a few short months ago, Carolyn and I were traveling the country. Now you would think, as a nomad, we would have been extremely happy. But we didn't get very long into that a lifestyle before we realized, man, this is not for us. And we tried to force ourselves to be happy with it because we'd made a decision and we wanted to see it through. But after 3 years of doing it, we knew this just wasn't going to make us happy. We left one stressful environment, came into another environment, and was realizing that we were accumulating just as much stress from it as we were from the old life when we had to work 16, 20 hours a day. What was not making us happy? Think about this. Other people. People weren't making us happy. So here I'm saying that a lot of people require other people to make me happy. But when you identify that it's probably people that's not making you happy. So you don't like what's going on in the cities. It's all burning down. Well, who's doing it? People. Now, I recognize that I'm an introvert and people kind of stress me out. But I see this a lot, that what's not making me happy is I'm relying on someone else to make me happy, and they're not making me happy, so people are not making me happy. So why are we relying on people to make me happy? So when we were nomads, we would go out to the national forest, we have to stay for 2 weeks, and guess what? Sure enough, somebody would come out and start partying and having a great time. And if you say anything, well, I have the right to come out here, it's my freedom. Well, okay, but what about my freedom to have peace and quiet? And so people, you got to leave every 2 weeks. You got to move on. You got to, no matter what the situation, you got to take off. And I'm so fortunate that we left the nomadic lifestyle when we did. We left in January, came here to Missouri, stayed at Miles for a few months, and then we got onto our property just like 2 weeks before the pandemic struck. I watch other nomadic YouTube channels, and others are starting to close down shop. They're buying houses and properties, and what are they doing? They're not relying on people to make them happy. They instinctually realize they got to make a change in their life so they can continue to be happy, even if they were happy in their nomadic lifestyle. They're not happy now because there's no place to park. And so I come out here this morning, I'm looking at all these trees, and I have to pick 3 of them that I have to cut down for next winter. Not this coming winter, but the next winter. Got to get them to cure and all that. And I'm like, wow, I don't know. This one, it's leaning pretty good, and that'd be easy to cut down, but right behind it is another tree that it could fall on, and then it'd be stuck. And I'm like, man, I don't know. This is stressful. And then I think, wait a minute. No, this is not stressful. I will figure this out. I'll work the problem until I get it fixed. I don't have to rely on people to tell me what to do. I get a lot of feedback on YouTube, of course, because I am on YouTube. And, there again, if I want to get angry at something, it's easy to do, because all I got to do really sometimes is just read the comments. And it's like, arr! I've said this before, about 90% of my comments have to be removed. They're just hate-filled comments. I mean, just trash. And I'm just not going to have that kind of trash on my channel. I want to have a nice community, respectful community. And so I read these and it's like, man, why is everybody so angry? But again, it's not YouTube or my videos or anything that make me, it's people. People are trying to upset me. It's obvious. You don't call someone a bad word and think, oh, I'm just trying to be nice. I have these videos that I try to make. I've been trying to be real positive and happy in the videos to reflect how I feel. And I think, why are you so angry? You just watched a motivational video that is inspiring you to achieve something? Well, of course, a lot of people will tell me, well, it's because they're jealous. Well, why are they jealous? Because they're requiring me to make them happy. And when I didn't fulfill that need, then they lash out at me. But you don't have to be jealous. You can literally do this yourself. It is not hard. And I have showed you over the last 3 months, yes, you have to work. You have to, make things. You have to pump your water. You have to cut firewood. I hope I can inspire you to break away from the requirement that other people need to make you happy and start looking internally. What is going to make me happy? How can I achieve it? I hope I help. Thanks for watching.